And welcome, everybody. I just said I'm unchecking your mics now, and they can see us. They can see whatever we see in the Zoom window. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Recovery Unplugged. This is episode 15. This is our 6th live episode.
Yes.
So, that's pretty neat. I'm excited. I hope you all out there are excited as well. So what we do here on Recovery Unplugged, and Amy, you can elaborate a little bit further, but we really highlight and do individual interviews of the larger, I would say, art and filmmaking community, and really touching on topics and talking with people about advocacy issues relating to mental health and mental illness and things like that.
Yeah, the artist gets a chance to talk about their career as an artist and what their goals are and what their dreams are. And then we pivot and we talk some about how mental health has impacted their career professionally and then personally and what they bring to the conversation. And then we just have a little bit of fun at the end.
Yeah, and you do a great job individually, like just setting up questions for each person. What was your what drew you to want to create this show?
Because I felt like there's all kinds of talk shows and reality shows. And I really like the only mental health, I mean, when you see it, like there's Dr. Phil, but he does like these, it's almost sensationalized at this point. He takes big cases and he interviews people and he does have good advice. I love Dr. Phil. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan. I love how's that working for you whenever he tells people and they're upset because how's that working for you? That cracks me up. So, but it just wasn't a vision that I felt like I could bring something to the table as someone who has mental illness and incorporate what the artistic world deals with. A lot of times they talk about the link between mental illness and creativity. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk about that. Now I have a broader vision for if this show were to get picked up and do something. This would be like a component of the show. Interviews with highlighting it like independent and up and coming artists, and then doing a bigger interview with like say an A-list star. And it would be like musician, like, right. But for now, this is a great continuation and it gives a chance for artists who may be writing their first couple of scripts, or even if they're a seasoned veteran like Dell. Dell was a hoot.
He was.
And there's experience in the independent world, like I had Steven Zimmer on. He's the festival founder and director of Imaginarium, but he's also a filmmaker and an author. And he focuses mainly on writing, author, but he has like how I have Letters to Daniel and mental illness and mental health. Mm-hmm. He does Raiden Valkyrie, and that's really his passion. And he writes other books and does other projects, but like if he had a baby, that would be it, like artistically.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned Letters to Daniel. Tell everyone out there just kind of what's the progress on Letters to Daniel and anything we might need to know.
Okay, well, so Missy is printing out the contracts to the different locations that we got to shoot the film. Mm-hmm. And we'll be signing them and paying the fee if there is one. We're doing that. I've got an updated shot list thanks to my script supervisor extraordinaire, Doug Kaufman. And he did a revised master of the script with shot marks. We're like shot A, shot B, shot C. It would make it easier for me and my DP to communicate. So instead of this mass mess, he just went and streamlined it. He's taken a lot. He's done a lot of things. He's like self-taught.
Are we going to interview him on here?
I think well, he probably would be on if I had him. He was in the room during the
Yeah.
table read.
Who's
Because
who's in the background?
that's somebody in my house.
What's going on over there?
Somebody's calling.
This is live TV.
Too bad.
Wait, someone's calling somebody what?
Either my Aunt Sally is calling for my mom because she can't walk.
Aw.
See, she had knee replacement surgery on her other knee, and they put concrete in. This has nothing to do with anything, but because you asked,
Wait, they put concrete in her knee?
It crumbled. To reinforce the replacement.
I've never heard
And
of that.
it crumbled. Well,
concrete does not sound like an effective knee.
Okay, so right,
material.
It failed. It broke, and it caused the bone to crumble and fracture. So her femur is fractured.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I get for opening my big mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's what I've been doing. Like when I don't do other stuff, like.
Did you wait on her hand and foot for Mother's Day or what?
No, we kind of left her here set up with food and drink. And we went to church and to my sister's house.
Oh boy. Well, you know what? You're nothing if you're not honest. Like, we left a sandwich for her on a plate, and she had some orange juice. We had to go.
I'm here for. I take her to the bathroom every morning, load her up in her wheelchair.
She gets to go once a day.
Yeah, once a day.
I take her anytime she wants to go. I get her.
Good.
Now today there was a little bit of miscommunication. I shouted, "I'm leaving," because I had to go pick up my nephew from school. Mm-hmm. And she called me and I said, well, she goes, "Can you take me to the bathroom?" I said, "Well, I'm kind of driving between here and Jonathan's school. As soon as I get back, I'll be on it." You'd have to back up.
Yeah. Is there if anything ever boils over in that other room, are there things that are going to be flying behind you? All right, before this episode goes off the rails, let's bring it back. And you're going to introduce Val and get this interview on the road. Okay. And then you tell me when I come back.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Okay, tonight we feature another special screenwriter. She hails from Ohio, is a counselor in her other life, and is especially creative when it comes to her stories. A mom, a wife, and survivor of mental illness, please give a warm welcome to Valerie Schwartfigure. Let's stop right in. Last October at Imaginarium, you won for your feature screenplay, Melody of the Sea. Tell us what inspired you to take up screenwriting, and why do you think it is that Melody of the Sea is finding an audience at festivals?
Okay, thank you. Why do I want to be a screenwriter? Is that the first question?
What drew you to screenwriting? And then why do you think Melody of the Sea is finding an audience?
Okay, so I've always been a writer. I started writing as soon as I could write, and started like creative writing contests around 7th grade. But I didn't really realize that screenwriting was my thing till just a couple years ago. And I wasn't really showing anybody else my stuff until just that. Imaginarium was the first contest that I ever entered. My friends nudged me. Karma Shoemaker especially nudged me. She's like, "You have to enter this," and I did, and I could not believe that I won. I really could not believe it. If you were there and saw it, you knew that I could not believe it.
You know what? But with the other festivals, I told you to enter it in some other festivals, and it's proven to have legs. So
yeah, it's doing all right so far.
Why do you think that is?
Well, it's whimsical. For one, it's got some imagination, and I think people connect with that. Right now I'm seeing a lot of trending fantasy, really. If you look on IMDb in the top 100 trending list, you'll see 20% at least is fantasy, and in the top 25%, it's an even stronger percentage, I would say. Fantasy, you have a lot of, especially superhero stuff, but I mean superpower even. In my screenplay, I didn't even say this, but I have mermaids who have superpowers. And in a lot of the things that I write, I have fantastical elements and I have superpower elements to a lot of the things that I write. So, hi.
Oh, Amy Wade is awesome. She's the rising star at AOF for 2019.
Oh.
Go ahead. Is that all you want to say on that one? Okay. You also have penned the television pilot Super Nancy. Why not tell our audience what it's about and what led you to tell this particular story?
That's another one that like my friends kind of dragged out of me. Like I wrote a little short story that was just for fun. It was like, I had this idea of, I want the most unusual superhero. I love when it's not just the normal one that you'd expect. So I have like a 60-year-old lady who has like a bunch of special needs cats, and she's sitting at home alone one day and she gets this really odd letter in the mail that's inviting her to a top secret superhero training academy. And she's like, oh, what the hell? I'll just do it. And so it was a really funny short story, just about 3 pages. And I read it out loud at my writing retreat to my friends, and they were in stitches. And my husband loved it, and he's like, you have to make it a script. So I just did. I just made it a short script, like a 30-minute TV pilot.
Okay. Having won at Imaginarium and the Miami International Sci-Fi and Fantasy Film Festival and being selected at AOF and Script Summit, how do you account for your success?
See, the word success is so funny to me. It's like it's like you think this is success until you get close to it, and then this is success, and then this is success, and it's never like you're never quite there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's I don't know that I'm successful, but I know that I'm passionate and motivated and that I try. So I guess that's about all I can say for that.
Okay. You're obviously a brilliant writer with a great career out there for the claiming. Where do you want to be 5 years from now?
Thank you for overselling me, Amy. I would like to have something produced. That would be awesome. I don't know.
Do you look to produce your own stuff? Do you want someone to produce for you? Because I'll tell you, at AOF, they will give you the knowledge and the tools to go out and do it yourself and find that, and they give you opportunities. You just have to go up and network and claim them.
Yeah, I love working with other people. I also, there's some ideas, of course, you don't want to totally pass over too, I'm sure I'd love a chance to direct. I don't want to do everything but I'd like a chance to try a lot of things probably, I don't really know yet. I'd like to just kind of dabble and discover and try it all out, I guess. I don't know.
That's okay. What projects are you currently working on, and which one is your favorite and why?
Okay, so I had these massive writing goals for this year. I thought while my girls are in school, I was going to try to write 25 pages a week, which turned out to be too much for me. But for May, I was going to try to do a feature. And then for the summer, I was going to try to do a TV pilot and 2 shorts, because I'd have them home for the summer and it would be harder to get much done. Right. I have a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old.
They're adorable.
Yay, focus. I have a hard enough time focusing. But so anyway, yeah. I get a lot of other stuff done when I'm trying to, anyway, I have ADHD in addition to my other mental health illness that we'll talk about later. Co-occurring mental health disorders are fun. What are we talking
about? What projects are you currently working on? Which one is your favorite and why?
I'm working on a feature which is about time travel portals. It's my favorite. I have like a lineup of shorts to do that I haven't started yet. So it's my favorite because it's the only one that I'm actually started on.
Okay. Let's pivot. Mental illness and the stigma attached to it is incredibly personal to you.
Yeah.
How does having bipolar disorder factor into your day job as a therapist?
Okay, so it actually helps me understand and be compassionate toward people. I think, obviously, if you haven't experienced it, it's like, how would you really know all the ins and outs? I think people who come, like I am a counselor. I don't know if we talked about that much, but when people come to counselors, sometimes they underreport the manic side of things. And if only the depressive symptoms are reported, then they get diagnosed with just depression or just depression and anxiety. And then if they're medicated for just that, it can be really dangerous and make them totally swing the other way. And that's happened to me. I was misdiagnosed and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. What has been your greatest challenge in managing your bipolar disorder, and what did you do to get into a regular recovery?
The greatest challenge, the first time that I had true mania that required hospitalization was right after my first daughter was born. And I thought it was some kind of crazy postpartum thing. I have type 1 bipolar, which means it's not just hypomania, it's true mania. It's you go all the way psychotic with hallucinations and delusions and true psychotic behavior. So I was out of touch with reality. I had to be medically cared for inpatient in the hospital for almost 2 weeks to get like stabilized. And but I didn't believe them that was bipolar. Like that didn't sit with me. Like I thought that was it has to be some kind of postpartum thing, right? And after stabilizing and everything, and then becoming pregnant with my second daughter, I couldn't be on medication, and I was okay. I was fine without medication for a while, almost 2 years, really. I was fine. So then I truly didn't believe I had bipolar. And after I had her and a little bit of time passed, I had a second manic episode that was even more serious and required hospitalization inpatient again. And then that time I truly believed, okay, I do have it. Well, that sucks. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, it's not something you wake up saying, hey, I want that for Christmas.
Right. And then that time around, I just, I had to realize, like, my brother has diabetes, and nobody ever would try to convince him that with the power of his mind, he should just try to control his blood sugar, like they do with people with mental health illness. Just try harder to think more positively, to control your mood, or, to whatever. No, sometimes medication is necessary, and there is no shame in that. If it's, absolutely on a biological level, if you need it, you need it. So there's no shame in that.
Right.
So I had to accept that. And for me, I had to find a provider, a doctor that I trusted and could work with me to find the right medicine. Not every medicine was great for me, and I had to work through some that, were not my favorite. And get through all that to the part where, okay, this I can live with. But nothing made me feel like nothing made me feel like I'm not myself. I can't handle this. Like, if it did for a minute, I didn't stay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, some people are worried about, like, I'm going to be a zombie, or I'm not going to be creative, or it's going to take something away from my personality or whatever. Well, don't live with that. Don't settle for that. But still, also, don't settle for not being healthy either, is what I think. So.
Okay. As a counselor, what do you find most fulfilling about working with your clients?
I love my work. Sometimes people will just tell you, like, you get me, like nobody has so far, or honestly, the most fulfilling part is when they don't need you anymore. It's the weirdest thing to work yourself out of a job, but I love it to watch people come in and out and be like so amazingly, just they grow and get independent and just bop on out of your office like awesome independent little, I love teenagers the best. They're so cool. It's the best. I like to watch them just be people. Like, they're really unique people. Yeah.
Is your creative output impacted by the ebb and flow of your disease? And if so, how so?
It has been at times, yeah. There have been depressive phases that I felt like all I wanted to do is sleep for like days. And I wasn't going to write because who cares? Who cares about that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember like a lot of napping, not a lot of giving a crap. Yeah, so there were phases, maybe even weeks, months of not doing much creative. And then during hypomanic phases, putting out quite a bit, not necessarily high quality all of the time. Yeah. Yeah, if I was like all the way cranked manic, I'd be like pulling out like 6 dozen books and putting them on my table like, hey guys, let's read all this shit tonight.
Yeah. It's when you think you can write a book in a night. I knew I was symptomatic whenever I would be sitting in front of my computer. I can write all of a novel, 50,000 words in one night. Not gonna happen, but
yeah.
But I've gotten past that. So
yeah. And I'm gonna get my real estate license and start 4 businesses at 3 a.m. Yeah. Sounds a little manic. You learn the symptoms.
What is your most fervent wish for your clients?
For them to love themselves and love others well. Probably. The probably number one issue that people have when they walk into my office is low self-esteem, which breaks my heart. I mean, I had it too for the longest time, but I think around age 20, it occurred to me, like, I am never going to get away from myself. Really. Like,
Yeah.
I'm stuck with me.
Yeah. Everywhere you go, there you are.
Yes. From the day I was born till the day I die, I'm here, and I'm going to annoy the living daylights out of myself if I don't start to like me a little bit, you know? So I had to figure something out. So I did this weird thing my aunt told me to do, like dating myself. Like, where do I want to go today? Oh, I think I'll go to Denny's. Have a cup of coffee and write, you know?
Yeah, it's good for it's good in a lot of ways. It keeps you from isolating, which can trigger a depression. That's like bellwethers, like something's coming.
Yeah.
There's okay. So finally, let's have a little fun. If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
Embrace the chaos. Sounds foreboding enough for me.
Okay. If you could cast anyone in the cinematic universe to play you, who would it be?
Oh, I will flatter myself here because Tina Fey is my idol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would love for her to play me. That would make me so happy.
This is your first year at AOF and Indie Gathering. What is your goal at each of these festivals?
Meet people, learn things, have fun, take it all in.
AOF's going to be big.
I know.
It's going to be so much fun.
I know. I'm so psyched. I'm tickled. It'll be awesome.
Okay. Who or what has been your biggest inspiration in your career and life?
In my career, I don't know. Neil Gaiman, maybe?
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah. In my life, my mom, probably.
Aww.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet. My mom. I'm not going to cry.
And finally, what pearls of wisdom do you have for others like ourselves who are battling mental illness and want not just to survive, but to thrive?
Okay. I'm for real now. It is not a waste of time to rest or play.
It's not. You're right. Okay. Well, that's my last question. John, you want to come back on? You want to join us?
What do we do? Thank you. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
They can go to Aaron Allen's Facebook page, and he has the link to the Letters to Daniel from the Heart Productions fundraiser.
Thanks for having me, Amy.
Oh, no. Thank you for being on my show. I know it's hard.
You too.
Being interviewed is it's cool, but you don't know what to expect. And I told you, I promised you. You did great. You did
Thanks.
great. You are fantastic.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I try to make my guests comfortable because the first time I was ever interviewed, it was for an independent film about local filmmakers in Kentucky. And me and Missy are sitting next to each other, and he goes, "Action," and I have a panic attack.
Oh
I was like,
no.
"Oh man!" So
Whoops.
I understood your trepidation, and I did.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything that relaxed me or put me at ease. So
Yeah.
I wanted you to come in the room a little early and cut up a little bit.
Thank you.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for tuning in. Here is the trailer, and we will see you next Monday, right?
Right.
All right.
Dear Daniel, life did not always look like this. They say life happens when you're busy making other plans. For me, it was bipolar disorder. It crept in and systematically, quickly dissembled my ability to function in society and rendered me scared, lost, and lonely. I lost the ability to focus, and the simplest of tasks became too overwhelming. Even though it felt like I had been abandoned, I still had one person in my corner out there on the front lines with me. Missy Goodman, writing partner, best friend, soul sister, caregiver. This disease will bury you if it goes untreated. But with the help of medication, therapy, and the support of an amazing caregiver, I've gone on to be in a one-day-at-a-time recovery and have a career in the arts. This is the story of how me and Missy got there together. This is Letters to Daniel.